Something's going on in Cincinnati, and it starts with their first round draft pick, Shamar Stewart. The Bengals were counting on him. He's supposed to be a major part of their defense. But here's the twist. Stewart didn't show up for rookie minicamp. Not because of injury, not because of travel issues. No, he's still unsigned. And that's raising some eyebrows. Now, rookie minicamp is usually quick, a 1-day, 1-hour deal. But even that was enough for people to notice his absence. While other rookies like Taj Brooks and Barrett Carter were on the field, Stewart and fellow rookie Demetrius Knight Jr. were missing in action. Why? That's the million-dollar question. Insider Mike Florio dropped a hint. According to him, the Bengals tried hard to get Stewart signed before camp, but talks hit a wall. Apparently, the disagreement was about how much of his future salary should come as a training camp roster bonus. It's a small detail, but one that's keeping a big-time rookie off the field. We did catch glimpses of Stewart in video footage. He was there, just not participating. And for a player expected to make an impact from day one, that's unusual. So, what does this mean for Stewart? Will he be ready next week? And what does this silence from both sides really mean? We've got Shamar's side, the Bengals' hopes, and some inside thoughts on what could happen next, with Demetrius Knight Jr. in the mix too. Let's talk about what's really holding things up with Shamar Stewart. It all comes down to money, but not in the way you might think. There's this thing called a training camp roster bonus. It's basically a chunk of a player's future salary that gets paid early, if the team agrees to it. Now here's the twist. The Bengals offered Stewart a smaller percentage of this bonus compared to what last year's 17th overall pick got. That's where things hit a snag. You might be thinking, oh, classic Bengals, being cheap again. And honestly, that's a fair reaction. But there's a little more context to this story. Let's rewind to 2024. The Vikings didn't sign their 17th pick, Dallas Turner, until July 21st. And guess what? The Bengals didn't sign their first-round pick, Amarius Mims, until a day later, July 22nd. That's deep into the summer. And right now, it's only May 12th. So technically, this isn't panic-worthy just yet. First-round contracts often take time to sort out. What does make this situation stand out is that both of the Bengals' top draft picks are unsigned and sitting out. That's why fans are noticing. If it were just one guy, maybe no one would care. But having your first two picks in limbo this early, that grabs attention. Still, here's a stat that might calm the nerves. As of this morning, only 11 out of the 32 first-round picks from the 2025 NFL Draft have signed their deals. Less than half. So this delay, it's not strange. It's just part of the slow grind of rookie contract negotiations. But still, it's hard not to wonder when this will all get sorted out. Now let's clear up a common misconception. First-round rookie contracts aren't filled with endless negotiations. The framework is already set by the league's rookie wage scale. But the fine print, that's where it gets tricky. These deals are about details, bonuses, guarantees, payment schedules. For example, last year, the Bengals couldn't finalize Amarius Mims' deal until after the Vikings inked Dallas Turner at pick 17. Why? Because Mims was pick 18, and those contracts are like dominoes. When one falls, the next one knows where to land, and that's the same situation unfolding now. But don't just take it from us. Here's what Shamar Stewart said in a clip we shared Friday. When asked why he hadn't signed yet, he responded, "I just decided not to sign those papers." He was then asked if he expected to sign before Monday to join the team. His answer? "I would hope so. I would love to be part of the team. I'm on the sideline just watching everybody else work. Especially on the first day, it was kind of tough on me." And while he's sitting out the on-field action, he made it clear he's still doing everything else. Meetings, playbook reviews, walkthroughs. He's mentally locked in. But he just hasn't stepped onto the field. Yet. Why does this matter? Because the Bengals veterans are back in the building. Rookie minicamp was intentionally short, just 1 hour, so that the new guys could immediately integrate with the vets. No slow ramp-up, no easing in. This was by design. That makes this week crucial. Practice on Monday wasn't open to the media, but Tuesday is. And now, the big question. Will Stewart and Demetrius Knight Jr. finally hit the field? Both rookies have starting potential, so missing too much of the offseason program, especially reps with Joe Burrow and other offensive and defensive starters, starts to have real consequences. At the rookie minicamp stage, no one's falling behind, but if contract issues linger and these players stay off the field, it stops being a footnote and starts becoming a headline. Which leads us to the biggest question of all. Are the Bengals willing to adjust the offer and get this deal done? So here's the sticking point. Again, it's not about the total money. It's about how that money is paid. Mike Florio reported that talks have bogged down over future year compensation, specifically the percentage that would be paid as a training camp roster bonus. That's a payment structure where a player gets a big chunk of money just for being on the roster at a certain point in training camp. In this case, the Bengals are reportedly offering less than what the 17th overall pick got last year. Now, the obvious question, how much less are we talking? And can both sides find a middle ground? That's unclear, but again, we're not talking about millions of dollars in difference here. It's more about principle and structure than raw numbers. So how far are the Bengals and Shamar Stewart's camp willing to take this? That's the key question. Unlike last year, when Amarius Mims hadn't signed yet but was still out there on the field, participating and learning the system, Stewart is taking a different route. He's present, but not practicing. No drills, no footage, no highlights. That's the difference. If Stewart and fellow rookie Demetrius Knight Jr. stay on the sidelines again this week, especially in front of returning veterans, then it will become a story. Then it's no longer routine contract stuff. It becomes, why aren't these guys practicing? And it puts pressure on the Bengals to bridge the gap and finalize the deal. I mean, imagine standing on the sideline watching Joe Burrow throw to Shamar Chase and having to say, I can't go out there today. Sure, it's business. Veterans might understand. But that doesn't make it any easier. We won't know what's happening in Monday's closed session, but Tuesday, we'll be on the practice field. We'll see with our own eyes whether Stewart and Knight are suiting up or staying out. Maybe by the time you see this, they'll have signed. Maybe they'll be out there already. That'd be ideal. But until that happens, the longer they sit, the more this becomes a real topic. Is it time to panic? Number. But if the rookies are using this as leverage, if standing out is their move, then the Bengals may need to respond quickly. We'll keep watching. Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and follow the podcast wherever you listen. Thanks for watching and listening to Cincinnati Bengals News.